Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. As you can tell, I am so excited to join me today because we're going to talk about 8 places where you should take your money. In this channel, we simply help you have a financial vision, draw financial goals in order to achieve financial freedom. And I'm so excited because in life we are so busy and we oftentimes get lost in the scheme of things so much that we don't use our money in the most efficient and effective manner. And therefore that's why I thought to come on here and share with you like the 8 places that I think you should really take your money to. And yes, let's just get started. The number one thing I'm going to talk about is a retirement fund. Yes, because most of us, especially young people, we often overlook this thing as if we are not really growing, and at some point obviously we're going to retire, and we don't really regard it as one of the means or as one of the places where we should be taking our money to in our age. But really that's a wrong mentality. Why? Because at some point retirement fund do really help a lot in a place where you can't do anything for yourself. You're no longer working, you're just at home. Obviously this is the money that will help finance your life in general, and therefore it's so recommended that you at least have like a fixed percentage of your income to your retirement fund. And of course this works for people who are employees, all right, because they get to have like an agreement maybe with their employer or their HR to say, okay, on a monthly basis I'm going to be contributing this much, normally 10 to 15%. I don't know if I said that before, but yes, normally you do this in match against your employer contribution. Your employer simply generously contribute this money to your fund free of charge, and then it's up to you. Some employers are so generous, like they can even do it, they can contribute more than you contribute. Yes, and then this is something that we can really take advantage of, especially as a person who is working. And then it's kind of disadvantage to people who are not entirely though, to people who are entrepreneurs, to freelancers, to maybe content creators, because they tend not to be employed by anybody. They are self-employed, I would say, and therefore they often don't have retirement fund. But the good news is you can still have a retirement fund as a solo thing. You know, you can just have just plan out, just search for something that can really work for you as somebody who is independent, and just yes, let it work for you. So one thing that is so important is not to touch the money. Like we said, it's for retirement. So if at all you are not retired yet, don't touch the money, because there are huge penalties that come with you withdrawing from your account, and the interest charged obviously. But why would you be penalized for your lack of discipline? Why? So don't touch this money. And the good thing, the reason why I said it with this one is because this money get to be deducted before it hits your account. Yes, this way you are not able to even say it, because sometimes we see money and we are tempted to just do things that are not necessary really. But with a retirement fund, before the money hits your account, it's deducted already, and this is one of the benefits of having a retirement fund. And the second thing I'm going to talk about is having a check account. I understand that sometimes if you don't have like a current account or a checking account, you tend to have like secondary holder. So it's so recommended that you have like your money directly deposited to your account, because that way there are no costs involved. I mean, like, there's no need for you to be having like a secondary holder of your money. If at all, you can have it directly checked into your account. So I just decided to do a universal research, obviously taking an example of maybe those who reside in America. Like, you can just go through a lot of online checking accounts that have like less fees, some with no fees at all. And then we have the likes of Fidelity cash management account, we have Varo, we have Ali, we have Betterment Everyday, and we have so much more. And I recommend that in your own territory, just search around and see what will work best for you. And then the third thing I want to talk about is paying off your necessities. This is where your money should go. Necessities, I'm talking about needs. You know, it's so funny that we grew up being taught about the difference between needs and wants, but even at our age, we tend not to really know what a need really is. We can't differentiate between the two. And I think just the basic statement, the basic thing we were taught is like a need is something you cannot live without. And obviously a want is something that you can live without. So the most important thing you should be asking yourself is, can I live without this thing? And the answer is a yes, then definitely it's a want. When I'm talking about necessities, I'm talking about shelter, maybe your accommodation, maybe obviously we can even talk about mortgage loan, you pay off your mortgage. We can talk about maybe your utilities bills, you pay for your water, electricity, gas, anything you cannot survive without. Those are the things you need to cater for first. Obviously your health comes first as well, so make sure that you spend on these things first before you can spend on things you don't really need but want. So the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is having an emergency fund. This is a separate savings account where you deposit your money, maybe a fixed percentage or any amount as you deem necessary monthly, because at the end of the day, these are monies for whenever you have an emergency, like really an emergency, because you cannot feed or satisfy your cravings out of your emergency fund. It should be something really that's prompting, something that's pressing, something that you deem to be a necessity, like at that particular time. Okay, we can talk about maybe you have health issues, like you need to go see the doctor immediately and maybe you can't, or you don't have a medical aid, or your medical aid can cover you but not at that point. You're able to use the emergency fund, and maybe there's something that broke in your car, you need to fix it as soon as possible. Maybe there's a friend who needs your help with something, like somebody who needs your help, really needing your help, maybe your friend, your brother, your family relative, just anybody. This is the emergency fund that will help you really in terms of, or in days where you have emergencies. And the good thing about emergency fund is that it allows you to stay away from debt. It keeps you away from debt because you don't necessarily have to spend from your credit card on things you didn't plan on spending on using your credit card, and therefore you just simply, it's high liquid, like you simply withdraw and you're able to cover whatever it is you need to pay for. The fifth thing I'm going to talk about is paying off your debt. Yes, it is important. Why? Because too much debt tends to devalue your credibility, you know. So it's important for you to pay off your debt. I consider a debt as in like a giant, okay? So whenever you have debt or debts, consider them like giants. They're giants and you need to tackle that giant stuff. And for us to do that, we're going to use the snowball method. You know, like a small snowball, it's so small but it can tackle something and hit something. Like normally we play with small snowballs. So this is the way we're going to tackle our debt. You start off with something that's small, right? You start off with like debt that has like a lower balance, and then once you're done with it, you move on to the next. For example, let's say you have like a mortgage loan, a car loan, and a student loan. So what you're going to tackle first is a car loan, since it has like a small balance, obviously depending on the amounts we're talking about. But in this case, let's say, oh wait, I just said that twice. But in this case, let's say maybe a car loan has a small balance. So you tackle that one first, then you move on to a student loan, you tackle it, and you move on to your mortgage loan. Obviously, for mortgage loan, you're continuously paying on the other hand, but your primary goal is to tackle off like the smaller debts, and then at the end of the day, you tackle the mortgage loan, and then you are boom, set to go. So it's good to have less debt. Like it's so important to have less debt. And then the other thing we're going to talk about is saving your 48 months salary if you are somebody working, or saving your 48 months income. What I mean is, I don't necessarily mean like continuously saving 100% of your salary every month, obviously, because that one is a bit less impossible. If at all your sole income is maybe a salary, or even if whatever your salary is, it's so not possible for you to save 100% of your income. Why? Because you are spending. And then the good thing is that this money will allow you to invest, and my advice is for you to invest maybe in money markets. Why? Because they are short-term investments and they are high liquid as compared to investing in capital markets, that is to say your stocks and your bonds and all. Obviously, everything has its place. There's a place where you need to invest in stocks and in bonds and other stuff, but this money you can necessarily start off with maybe investing in money markets, since it's high liquid, and then everything has its place. Like I said, as you move on, you'll be able to invest in other things such as real estate and all. Which brings me to my 7th tip or place where you need to take your money. That is to say, investments. You have to invest. You should, you must invest. I'm not talking about the possibility of you investing. I'm talking about a must thing to do. Why? Because this is a place where you potentially can become rich. Okay, you don't become rich out of maybe step 1 up to 5 or step 1 up to 6. Like, you need to invest real good. I'm talking about investing in stock markets, investing in bonds, investing in real estate. Like, really invest. And the thing is, you cannot invest without money, right? This is why we need the first few steps we spoke about, because especially the savings part, where you need savings in order to invest. Like, investment is something that it takes time. You don't just wake up in the morning and you are rich. You don't wake up in the morning and you have money in your hands to just go and invest. That's why you need to do savings. That's why you need to do more than you are doing now. Like, just having one source of income is not enough. Just do something, play around with things, hustle out, do whatever you gotta do, because at the end of the day, investments need money. You need like a large amount of money for you to be investing in real estate and stocks and all that. And obviously, I'm not saying for you to get started you need like a chunk of money. No, you just start small. You can start as low as $100. You can start as low as maybe $1,000. You build your way up, and then the goal is to grow through all the stages, like up to a point where you are able to invest. Okay, my last tip, which is the number 8 place where you need to take your money. I know this is going to sound absurd, but spend. Yes, you heard me right. Just spend. I mean, like, after doing all these things I spoke about, why not just reward yourself? Reward yourself like with all you are, because you have done all these things. You have saved, you have an emergency fund, you pay off, you know how to balance between your needs and your wants, and you have invested in money markets, you have invested in capital markets, you have stocks, you have bonds, you have real estate. Come on, you need to just spend. But obviously not spending like a headless chicken, spending obviously with, I don't know, just spend with like enough reasoning. Obviously, just have to reward yourself. This is where you do your Netflix, you do your cable subscriptions, you go out with friends, you travel the world, honey, you go on holidays. Like, after all, this life is meant for us to really live and enjoy. And if at all you're going to be hard on yourself all the time, it's not really going to work for you. That's why I say, if you have done everything you need to do, and if you are responsible enough, a responsible adult, then you are able to also reward yourself for all the hard work, for all the effort, for all the investments you have done. And I really urge you, like, this is very important, to continuously invest in yourself, because this is the best investment you can ever make, guys. Investing in yourself, reading books, buying or having to do a particular course that will enhance your skills and your knowledge. Just do that and you will really thank me later. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for sticking around, and I'm sure you enjoyed this video. And if you did, like I suspect, just smash that like button, because it really helps tell the YouTube algorithm that, you know what, just push this video out and let other people get to watch it and all. Like, that is the best thing you would ever do today, like just clicking that like button. And if you are interested in joining this family of like a financial journey, we are here. We are your support system together. Like, we are a community, and we are building a strong community, which I would like you to be part of. Like, that would really mean a lot if you can subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much, guys, for all you are doing. Like, I know you are putting in the effort. I know you are working so hard, working so tirelessly. I know the sacrifices you are making, and you're going to reach that place you want, a place of success, a place of prosperity, a place of financial security, and a place of financial freedom. Thank you so much, guys. I create videos every Tuesday. Make sure to look out for them and share this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.